Hi, Destiny number 3, or Destiny slash expression number 3. This is Empress Justice here, and I really want to get into your number because just like with life path number 3, there are 3 things you have in common. You have great intuition, you have the ability to make things happen through the joyfulness in your heart, and also you have lots of different ways to express yourself. But whilst life path number 3s are inherently expressive, inherently know exactly what they want to say, there is a journey that you have to undergo that leads you there. Now, unlike life path number 3s, who are naturally intuitive, naturally joyful, and naturally expressive, you tend to be, I wouldn't actually say you're the opposite of that, but you tend to be more measured in your positivity and your creativity and your connection to spirit than a life path number 3. You tend to be more measured in that. You tend to be less reliant on spirituality, less likely to express yourself creatively. You actually feel more confident with it's weird because you feel confident being creative when it comes to your expression, but not necessarily in what you're doing. For example, you could be the type of person who likes to express things in a creative way, but you might like to do something like maths or, not English, maths or science or something logical. So you like to be creative, but you like to be creative in things that are not necessarily creative, right? And then when it comes to positivity, you see solutions to problems, which isn't quite the same. Like you're the type of person who might see everything as a problem, but you'll see the solution to that problem. Like you're always trying to fix things. So in your early life, you would have been surrounded by people who are not necessarily like that. You might have been surrounded by people with a lot of big mouths. If you're a destiny number 3, you might have been surrounded by a lot of big mouths, a lot of people acting like they know things when they don't know things. You might have been surrounded by people with a deep connection to spirituality, and who don't know a lot but communicate what they do know with a lot of confidence. They might come across as more positive than you are, more enterprising than you are. The truth of the matter is they just have a better ability to bluff. That's essentially what you've had to deal with here. You're surrounded by people who have a better ability to bluff than you do. So you might have grown up being very focused on the facts, very focused on reason, very focused on maintaining an open mind, actually. Because even though you're not optimistic, you're not pessimistic either. You're too optimistic for that. You're too much of a, well, what about this thing? And what about this thing? You're way too curious to even contemplate being down in the dumps about things. That's just not the way you roll. So you have an open mind that likes to explore and ask questions. So growing up, you might have been the kind of person where even if you know, you don't take for granted that you do. You don't take for granted that you know something. You'd rather get all the facts first and then decide whether you're right or not. You're that type of person if you're a destiny slash expression number 3. You have all the joy, all the joviality and all that, but you don't like to be cocky. You don't like to be cocky. That's just not where you stay. Okay. So when you get older, as you get older, if you're a destiny and expression life path, destiny or expression number 3, you will become the kind of person that is very much cocky and authentically you, expressive. You might be more creative than the standard life path number 3. Actually, you might become more creative than them. You might become more fun than them, more intuitive than them. But unlike a life path number 3, you're going to have the knowledge to back it up. You might engage in one creative skill, that you can take all the way to the ends of the earth, because you've built up so much other knowledge first that you know exactly what to write, or exactly what to sing, or exactly what to paint. So it's like you build up all this knowledge, all these facts, you do all this research when you're younger, so that by the time when you're older and you have something to say with confidence, with spirit guiding you, it actually comes from a real place. So you're going to go from being surrounded by loudmouths who don't know what the fuck they're talking about to I'm sorry. You're going to go from you're going to go from being surrounded by loudmouths who are right once every blue moon because of their intuition or uncontrolled intuition, to being the one who is the loudmouth, but who is guided by more reliable intuition, who has a more structured and steady creative process. So you go from being surrounded by big mouths who don't know that much and who are guided by spirit, to being guided by spirit yourself, but actually knowing what you're talking about. That is what you're looking forward to in your later life. In your later life, you will be surrounded by people who are more logical than you, who are more rational than you, who are less creative than you. You will be surrounded by people like that. But again, unlike the life path number 3, you're going to know what you're talking about. You're going to know what you're talking about. So you will all automatically have a more balanced perspective than your counterparts, right? You'll have a more balanced point of view. And because of that, ironically, if you are already involved in something that involves like mathematical or scientific skill, you'd be more likely to make breakthroughs because of it. Because of your need to express yourself and your need to be creative and your need to use your imagination. You might actually come across some breakthroughs here, right? But that's if you're not creative. If you are creative, you're more likely to be mastered and disciplined and well structured in what you create. So that is what you have to look forward to later on in life. And I'm happy to say, if you are a destiny number 3, enjoy, okay? Because the older you get is the more fun you're going to have. Yeah. The older you get, the more fun you're going to have, the more you're going to see positivity everywhere, the more you're going to connect to your inner child and have fun with that inner child. The older you get, the more enjoyable life is going to be for you. So, yeah. So have fun with that. So, yeah. That was definitely for destiny and expression number 3. I thought I'd have more to add to that, but I actually don't. The only thing that I would say is never forget what's real. Never forget what's within the soul of each thing that you're working with. I gave the same advice to life path 3, right? So the only thing that I would suggest to you is to maintain a relationship with what's special beneath the mundane. So yeah, that's the only piece of advice I have to give you. Like, this is a very short video by comparison. But yeah, that's all you need as a destiny expression number 3. All you need to do is connect with the inner magic of everything that you touch. Your whole world will open. I swear it will. And also, thinking positive and connecting with the inner soul of each thing that you're communicating with, connecting with the inner potential of everything that you touch, along with that positive nature, along with having as much fun as humanly possible, baby, magic will absolutely happen in your life. I mean, it will anyway. Your life will be more enjoyable. You will become a much more fun, dynamic person. As time goes by, you will turn into that person. But in the meantime, think positive and see the magic and the potential beneath each thing. I promise you, you're not going to regret it. You won't regret it. So that was for the destiny / expression number 3. This was probably the most enjoyable number that I've done so far. So peace and blessings, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye, my darlings.